Ladies and gentlemen, we are back again, once again with Mr. Fateen Ziyad, Deputy Chief of the Newark Fire Department.
Yes, sir.
That's a big title, brother. Welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
So this is amazing because I feel like we're covering every sector of society. We've had faith, we've had politicians, now we have folks who are putting out fires in more ways than one, metaphorically speaking and literally speaking. So today the focus at the ADE Broadband Summit has been around how can we use technology to, first of all, how can we get technology to the folks that need it to close the digital divide, how jobs can be created using technology. But more specifically, in your area, first responders are an important piece of the puzzle in public safety. So can you speak a little bit about how technology is used in your line of work?
Yeah, it's a major deal right now as far as bridging that divide in technology. You know, if anybody knows 911, that's the universal call for emergency response, and as much as it's effective, if in fact with the technology we have today, it can be much more effective. How we bridge that gap and how we are bridging that gap here in the city of Newark is taking that information, that technology, and utilizing it so that we can be more efficient when we do respond. For instance, when somebody calls a 911, you have the call ID, but given the technology and the software you have now, not only do you have that call ID name, you also may have the address, but you also have information about that building. You know, when a firefighter responds to a situation, he needs to know as much as possible. If you can know if it's a 3-story wood frame, for instance, or if there's 3 people in there with a handicapped person in there, that type of information makes it so much more easier when he responds. The other way with broadband technology, for instance.
Before we move on to broadband, but with that piece there, the level of information that's available for folk when they call, is that something that's across the country? Is that something new to Newark, or what's
actually, it's accessible across the country, but no, it's not across the country, and it's something that's new to Newark.
How long has it been here?
Approximately 2 years.
So I think that's important because I think sometimes when people think about Newark, they think of maybe the lack of resources, the lack of jobs, the lack of opportunity, the lack of a sense of public safety. But clearly, steps are being made to bridge that.
Oh yeah, and I understand that concept and that thought. When you think about Newark, you know, brick city,
right?
You know, and it's, you know, known as having a high rate of crime and individuals being very urban. But the reality is that the people here, as well as the public safety officers and the mayor and our politicians, are very conscientious about what we do for our citizens.
Yeah, talking to Cory Booker, Mayor Cory Booker earlier, he seems very passionate about making sure that the city is enabled using technology.
Yeah.
So it's good to see how it's trickling down to your department as well.
Yeah, and the reality is that crime or public safety overall, because both are intertwined. A lot of our fires are based on arson, and a lot of situations occur through individuals not doing the right thing. So we, through technology, have, for instance, a camera system that actually sees instances that go on and incidents that go on throughout the city. That type of technology, we haven't took it over to the fire service yet, but that's what we're looking to. Whereas if we're responding to a fire, we can actually already have information. We can have a picture of what's going on.
Wow.
Like I said,
so that'll be in the fire trucks as
right,
people are going
exactly.
to the
Yeah, the individual, for instance, an individual may call in. We get the address. We get as much information and data from that. That information is taken from dispatch and sent to the station. When the individual responds, the technology that's there now is that literally while the person's responding, they can actually see the building itself, or at least get as much information about what they're gonna arrive at. You know, it's called a size up.
Right, a size up.
Size up.
Okay, so that's how technology is working here in the city of Newark. You were about to speak to broadband.
Yeah, broadband, you know, the reality of broadband meaning for us is that the technology is going to be used not just on the phones or not just through the computer, but also with video. So the whole concept of broadband and wireless is important for us. From an educational piece for firefighters to learn, we can actually access information nationwide. From a community service perspective, where we can actually now go out and teach fire prevention, which is the biggest part of fire safety. Actually, is the prevention part of it.
Like
so
else, right?
yeah, so you know, when you talk about this type of technology, you're not just talking about the after effect, or you're not always talking about the fire itself and relating to after the fire, you're talking about the preventive part of it, which is the biggest part.
So a young person's watching this right now. They've always dreamed about becoming a fireman in the city of Newark. How do they do that? And how can they use technology to get information?
Very, very simply, right now we actually are recruiting. We're looking to hire young men and women to become firefighters. And most of our applicants are coming over the net, over the web. They can go to www.njdop.gov, and they could prompt through that to look for a job with the fire service.
DOP is Department of
Personnel, the New Jersey Department of Personnel.
Can you repeat that again?
Yeah, that's www.nj.dop.gov.
Okay, good. So there you go. You can use technology. You can go online. Can they go to a firehouse and just ask for an application?
Always, yeah,
Always.
Definitely. In fact, we encourage that also.
So
we try and be community.
Go into the environment
and see exactly what they're welcome to visit the firehouse and talk to the firefighters.
So if you've been one of those people out there that's been starting some of these fires that this man and his crews have been putting out, you might want to get on the other side of the equation and do something good for your city.
Definitely.
All right, thank
Definitely.
you.
You're
Good
welcome.
to see you, sir.
You too, sir.
Yes, sir.